Let's see who comes in this morning. Boo, boo, doo, doo. Um, all right. Tesla about to break over 200 again, and that's on the good news of the PPI. VEV and CXAI, these are some pennies I'm looking at this morning. Not quite good enough. A lot of pennies. Let's see, I'm going to wait for a couple more people to be here. I'm going to tell you a little tip about the pennies. Michael, what do you trade? What do you like to do? Are you trading some of these things, these pennies, or are you doing swing trading? Are you doing investing? Are you doing um, high growth trading? Are you doing the put credit spreads? What are you doing? CNTM PMD. Bev Spry. Excuse me, sorry. Um, HSAI. I like the swing trading. I've only attempted to put credit spreads a couple of times. Okay, cool, cool. Good morning, Bob. The boy, that data, Bob, on the market that came out, fantastic. I'm surprised it's not a bigger reaction. I mean, that's huge, and I think it's because there's a lot of confusion between PPI and CPI. A lot of people don't understand the distinction between PPI and CPI, but PPI is the more leading inflationary number. And yet everyone waits for CPI. That's the big headline number. That's the sort of national, international, universal inflation number, CPI. But PPI gives us some insight into which way things are moving. And the number was not just okay, it was really good. It was a surprise beat. And we did get a nice big positive reaction on the market. And we also, Bob, you should probably incorporate watching rates, at least, yeah, um, into your market sentiment radar. And rates dropped on that information. And that would be the natural reaction. That would be the correct reaction. It means inflation's going down like it really truly is. And what is that? Is that good for business or bad for business? It's great for business. It's also good for the economy, and it's great for everybody. It's great. And like as if it couldn't get any better, they now gonna have to cut rates. So that's like, icing on top of the cake. So uh, it's gonna be hard to put in a red day today. It's gonna be really hard. If that happens, it's like pushing a balloon underwater. Have fun. It's just going to keep popping up, and you got to try to grab it and push it back down. That'll be interesting. But like I'm seeing the proper reaction from everything: the dollar, rates. There's not an indicator that isn't in congruence right now with that. This is going to be a positive day. So if we get some kind of sell off, I would consider that a manipulation for sure. You don't have to do any guessing here, but it's not over till the fat lady sings, and that's CPI tomorrow morning. And this is a two-prong kind of reporting on inflation. Today you get PPI and tomorrow CPI. So we flipped the coin and it came up heads today. Now tomorrow when we flip the coin, maybe it comes up tails on CPI. So then you get that mixed result, and then you'll get a bit of a reversal on whatever happens today. Um, it would be just absolutely crazy for the market to be red today. I would think that that would be a manipulative preparation for tomorrow's CPI being positive and two heads in a row. So anyway, we're at a really good spot here because at least now, if CPI is bad, together it's the same. It's like neutral. It like neutralizes it. And if today is red, we know that's bullshit and that it's preparation for uh, big money and smart money to be getting in tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be their big day. And they're going to spend a lot of money on today, pushing the market down and manipulating it down, and so they can get their allocations in tomorrow on a confirmed positive CPI print, which is now more likely. And then rate cuts got even more likely just now, and that's it. It's over on rates. They're all gonna. I mean, that was such a strong print on PPI this morning that it's over for rates. Rates are gonna be dissolving now, all the way back to whatever it is to non-elevated levels, and rate cuts are not just on the table. They're going to have to take them. I think they're going to have to make a rate cut sooner than expected. I really do. That was quite a hot, wonderful, not hot, but a nice cooling number we got this morning from PPI. For those of you just tuning in, the core PPI inflation was zero, none, and they expected it to be 0.3. Well, let me double check that I got all that correct. They expected it to be 0.2, and it was previously 0.3, and it was zero. That is incredible. We've hit a very nice flat point and in an accelerated, strong manner. And it just continues to show that um, the economy is doing great, no matter how many bears and people betting against it all. The economy is doing great, and we're just going to keep going. The market's just going to keep going. Business is going to keep expanding, and things are doing well. And with rates coming down, uh, that's what's going to happen. It's all you can't. It's unavoidable. These are unavoidable moves. It's just when was it going to happen? So the only way you can derail stuff like this is with money printing, stimulus, or um, money printing packages, or lend exporting money. That would devalue our currency if you exported. It wouldn't devalue our currency so much, but if it was already using money that was existing and you weren't printing it. But if you export money from the US, then it causes inflation domestically. So that's an interesting factor. But, if you push money outside of your border wall, it means less money at home, more money outside, but the money supply is the same globally, but domestically the pressures go up. So, that's economics. And so that's what you got to worry about, government spending. Anything that's government spending will continue to feed inflation. I think it was Stalin who said how to kill a nation with inflation. You can kill a nation with inflation from within. This is like communist playbook. And everybody, if you disguise the money printing that causes the inflation as benevolence, then stupid minds will think, yeah, so that's what happens. And so you get a lot of, you can take advantage of poor souls And it's when smarts meets evil that starts happening. When power meets evil, and this is why in the United States, I don't know much about that, Bob. Inflation Reduction Act. I'll have to read up on that. I'm not familiar with what that is. What is that? Oh, are you saying that like uh, you could disguise inflation money printing program as the Inflation Reduction Act? Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, the probably is. You can't. I mean, a proper Inflation Reduction Act would have to quell government spending. Just last night, how many of you heard the interview with Elon Musk and Donald Trump? Just last night, they talked about inflation and how within the same moment in the conversation, they needed to talk about cutting back or making more efficient. Elon Musk wants to create a government efficiency committee in the program in the government. But the idea that, like he was talking about $5.7 billion to fund Air Force One, which is two Boeing jets that already exist. Like it's just a maintenance thing. And it was ridiculous. Like that kind of level of spending, the reason, obviously, we all know the reason why it's excess is because the excess is going somewhere. You know what would be interesting? This is something I thought of just the other day, is that the founding fathers made the United States because they wanted the states to compete against each other, and they didn't want any one opinion in conglomerate. They needed more than, the 13 colonies was an excellent start. But the more different states, they're like bubbles, different bubbles of the way people want to be in a society. Well, you can be a, you know, Texan, you can be a Floridian, you can be a Massachusetts, you can be a Californian, all those different ways of being, those are your choices, and those are those states, and none of them can have ultimate power or say, but they can have a say, right? So it's a brilliant idea the way they devised it, the idea, the concept of a republic instead of a democracy, because democracy is mob rule. And so what I was thinking was really they almost shot themselves in the foot by calling it the United States of America, because every state is not a state, you guys. You've been conditioned to believe that the states are states. It really is the United Countries of America. That's really what it is. And that's how they envisioned it. You call it a states, but okay, fine. So, my idea the other day was we should start approaching other countries to see if they'd like to join the United States of America, because that would be one way. Because the United States Constitution, although it's quite under fire and being corroded from within, uh, it has held up, and it seems to be checking and balancing all the maniacals and all the tyrants and everything that's going on. It's been through thick and thin before, 250 years later. And so it could be a good way to solve, some of the problems of some other countries even. Come join the United States of America. I mean, it really doesn't matter in the end, because if you can get everybody under a republic, it's better for everybody. A republic of freedom, And that's basically what we have, a republic of freedom. And that would move us closer towards balance and farther from oppression globally. So, yeah, that's something to think about. The states are really not states, they're countries. And you have a choice to go live in each one of these countries, whether it's Florida or Arkansas or Texas or Michigan or Idaho or whatever you believe, whichever state everyone else makes fun of, if that's the one you believe in, they believe in it too, and they'd love to have you. So, uh, that's the way it was envisioned. 9:19. All right, we have 11 minutes before the market opens. I've already been through a lot of these tickers this morning that are coming up on the radar. I've got the squawk in my ear talking as I was just telling you all that. Hard to think sometimes. But yeah, there's an incredible moment that just happened this morning. Two incredible moments. PPI came as a surprise beat, but Starbucks now up 17%. The CEO of Starbucks in the in an all-in-one moment, Starbucks fires their CEO, and then they hire, at least in the interim, is what they're saying, CM Chipotle's CEO. Like, wow, this is like Bill Gates moving to Apple or some shit. I mean, this is in that world of like retail restaurants or whatever have you, fast food chain, whatever you want to call it. This is a huge shakeup moment. And so Starbucks now up 17% pre-market from 77 to 90. And Chipotle is like buck, and they're from 56 to 51. They're down 9%, and at one point we're down almost 11%. This is an amazing thing. I still think it'll be a little bit hard to topple Chipotle more because Chipotle's been on an incredible bull run. There's still a lot of value there to save its ass, but Starbucks has been beaten up to a fucking pulp. I mean, it is bearish as shit, and I think this is just a massive turnaround moment for Starbucks. So, how it gets wrung out over the next days will remain to be seen, but almost, you know, 17% of the move, whatever it is, however far this move eventually goes, it's getting fastly mopped up. This area between uh, where people believe Starbucks will be going from here to where it was. It is getting erased. Its past is getting erased right before our eyes. And it is a 3% ADR stock, not too bad. You could still probably PCS it. Um, and the all-time high is 126. Let me double check. Yeah, 126 from 2021 and 115 from 2023. So those are the two big all-time highs, recent highs, to see it pop over the next year, and that you could potentially look forward to as an investor if you believe that this is a huge sea change event for Starbucks, and that it could become CMG level of profitability. If you go over to CMG and you just take a look at the run it had, you're talking from 2018 at the low, $5. And then recently, 2024, 70. So in 6 years, you're talking about 1,400%, which is to the power of 1/6, 55% growth per year. So by bringing over the CEO of Chipotle, you could be looking at Starbucks potential change of 55% growth per year. I'm sure he's going to be up against, everything he'll be up against, but his focus is 100%, it looks like, because he left Chipotle. So he's really going all in on this. And this could be an amazing transformative moment for Starbucks, let alone interesting investable moment as well. I mean, if you had those same kind of numbers, 14 was basically 1400%. 14. Here we are at 77. Well, I did go from the low, but that's roughly the low. Let's go from the low. 72 at that low point times 14. You could be looking at Starbucks hitting 1,000 in 6 years. You're like, what? Let's see. Who knows? It's like when Elon Musk took over Twitter and fired like 90% of everyone who wasn't doing anything, and it was just a huge waste of money. We finally got somebody sensible, it looks like, over inside of the company Starbucks. Starbucks is kind of like this is like a Twitter moment over on Starbucks. There's gonna be some carnage, uh, and it's gonna upset some shareholders. So it's gonna be a little bit of a rough road, but overall, it's for the best. And the growth of the company now probably, unstoppable. Probably unstoppable. Anyway, will that create a day trade or a swing trade right now? It's very hard to tell. Probably. Um, yeah, it's very hard to tell. Once the market opens in 5 minutes, uh, there might be a lot of investors wanting to get out. So there might be some fight there initially, and I would think that's only a great opportunity to dip by. Myself, would I get in? Well, anyway, I'm already allocated, so I don't really have any free funds for that. But if I did, um, yeah, I'd probably get a small allocation. Depends on everyone's. That's me personally. Okay, that doesn't mean that's my advice or what you should do. Everyone's portfolios or trading styles or investing styles are many varied, and you make that decision for yourself. Me. I probably would take a small allocation, like 0.1% or something, maybe 0.25%. But I have a different portfolio than you have. Mine's uh, it's just different. And it also depends on whether or not you're being aggressive or you're being conservative. And you're young or old. There's so many factors. But there you go, Starbucks, amazing. Um, it's probably going to be bullish all day today, so you know you could always give it a try. Risk reward, figure out the risk reward, and it's yours. What do they say? The world is your oyster, and it is your oyster. We'll keep that on watch anyway. And in the meantime, the market's still reacting pretty positive. There was a new pre-market high just now, creating one, two, three, 4 points to an uptrend. We now have 4 points to an uptrend formed in pre-market, on the market, on the PPI data, and that is spectacularly wonderful. So we'll see if tomorrow, if the CPI ends up matching, and that would be, boy, off to the races. If tomorrow was a surprise beat on CPI, I think you push rate cuts up like sooner, like they accelerate. And I mean, we basically just that this print this morning is kind of huge. If tomorrow CPI matches in some respects, you have a boom. Like it signals like an economic boom, like a fucking sonic economic boom. It was a pretty important moment this morning with PPI. Kind of the moment we've been waiting for and that we've been anticipating anyway. Let's see if there's anything else coming up on my lists. In my squawk box, I got serve in my ear. Let's see. Nah, just a little bit of a bounce there, a little dead cat bounce. Market opens in 2 minutes, you guys. If there's anything I'm missing, let me know always. But I'm trying to watch stickers here. Riot. Oh yeah, probably Bitcoin would respond positively on this. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. If it hasn't. That'd be interesting. It's probably waiting for CPI. Yeah, not much of a similar response from Bitcoin. As far as 4 points to an uptrend, more sideways. Probably it's prudently waiting for CPI tomorrow to really commit. LASE. I mean, this has been on an incredible run. This morning is the first day. Yes, this morning is the first day that we opened gapped up on LASE. To me, this is a moment that is probable, that is, it increases the probability that it could become an exhaustion day top on LASE. And so I'll be looking to short up here if I can get it. It looks like in pre-market it hit all the way to 6. And I'm not sure if we're going to see that again. We'll see in a second here when the market's open. But obviously you can't go long here on an extended moment. Okay, that's not the trade. But here I'd be looking at this as a potential shortable top and a little bit higher risk because it's unconfirmed across 2 days. But we do know these patterns, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get shares short. I'll give it a try though. So we'll see what happens there. In 20 seconds, it'll be opening LASE. There might be a day trade, by the way, if you wanted to scalp, like from 5 to 6. That could be a trade. Uh, but I'm looking to short this thing. I would not look into a swing trade for in at these levels, long in any way. If I had a high frequency trading scalping setup, yeah, maybe, but no. All right, there's just profit taking right out the open. Let's see if I can get any shares short right away, just as an experiment to see if they can give me any. Well, my order wasn't canceled, so actually it is taking the order to sell short. That's great. So I'm going to cancel that though because I don't necessarily want that right here. I'd like to see it go up more, possibly do its topping tail, do some topping tail. All right, we are open on the market, and we have some. I'll have to be watching for some things that come across our screens and our scans. Whoa, PSIG. That couldn't be correct. Let me see. Plays PSIG. No, it's not. Something's not right with the bid ask on my PSIG here. MIGI, however, is continuing. Okay, it's way up there. I probably should take some more on MIGI, but I already have those orders set, so I really got nothing to worry about there. I do need to watch PSIG. How is that possible? There's something's not right here. 234 PSIG. Yeah, something's wrong with the. We had some whiplash in after hours. No, no, I'm getting incorrect information from Thinkorswim on that. I did just get an order filled. What was that? Closed a tiny bit on U. Okay, so U is moving. Yep, U continues to move up. It's past 1 to 1, and I'm taking profits on that automatically. Now back to Lays. I really want to watch that for a potential short. And the market is running, guys. So there we go. And probably Starbucks will take that wind at its back and run with it. What do you guys think? The trade on Indo and Husa that was alerted yesterday might be over now because this inflation data and oil not really following through. So let me go take a look at that. Indo, I mean, well, oil. First of all, let's take a look at oil. It could still be on a little bit. These numbers deflate oil a little bit. Yeah, so we're seeing some pullback on the Indo and Husa trade. All right, there you go. HUSA, Starbucks flying. It's at 92.6 now. Starbucks is up 20% since yesterday's close. And yep, QQQ taken off brilliantly. I think that Bob, you should be able to seize the day on that. Yeah, looking across my positions at anything I need to take profits on. Wow, Starbucks now at 83. I'm sorry, 93. I think I'm just gonna close out HUSA. Hopefully it's not premature. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm already up good going into this open on it. Okay, there, I just closed that. And then same thing with Indo, which I'm up on. I just feel like the oil trade and these inflation numbers mean it's over. Indo, yeah. Yeah, just go ahead and take my profits here. I'm up on the position. I'm gonna flatten that based on that PPI print is really where that is. Okay. Apps has come up on the squawk. And great, we have some scans coming in now with some new tickers. I'd like to see them. Now, apps is already flown and gone. You could potentially get in here. I'd like to see it get above 313 for a signal on apps for an entry. And that could be a swing trade. And over on Lays, I really would love to see it exhaust, but maybe just opening this gapped up is the exhaustion. I don't think so. I need to really see it extend. All right, I'll take a small short on it for starters, just to make sure I get filled and I can get short on it. And that is Lays. But with a $6 top side, I see it's already fallen now. I'm just gonna forget it. Lays, I gonna have to wait for it to turn around. And even then, it's not quite the same trade anymore. MIGI coming across the squawk. This was an alert yesterday. MIGI, looking extraordinary. Yesterday had this huge pop. Look at that. Randy and all of you who attended the penny stocking classes. Um, you can see that this is not earnings. This is like what's going on here, and it's a huge day, right? You can see that. And so that's why we got in yesterday. And I'm in MIGI at $1.60. So down here, this was alerted yesterday at that point. And we're at 214 now and flying. And my take profits on that are, yeah, I think right up here. I think like 217 or something. But then the next point to hit is 290. And then 390. And then sky is the limit. So, this is extremely taken off right now. MIGI, MIGI, I'm up 33% on that trade. MIGI, MIGI, Lays, and what is this? Yeah, see, it's a good thing I got out of HUSA. It is just plummeting now. So that was good instinct there. It was good to understand that HUSA, HUSA, and Indo are both related to oil, and they were popping on oil yesterday, but that they've been severely tamped down by the now really good deflationary numbers that got printed by PPI, amongst other things in geopolitical, in global trade. Let's call that. You went to 27. And yes, I'm getting some of that. I'm up 8% on that. OGen, I don't have any profits set on that. And yet it is way up and I got to take a look at it. Where do I want to take profits on this? So yesterday it got in at, or the other day we got in at 2, way down here. And now pushing up. First take profit should be at 297. All right, so I'm just going to type that in to my trader on OGen. 297. And then after that, 317 and then 342. There's a boop, boop, boop. Those are the next two points to take profits on OGen on that trade. $297 as it slides up the retracement. Did we go over how to find take profits? Yeah, I think we'll have to do that in this week's class. I don't think we did that in class. Anybody remind me? Oops, let me close that. That was a not a good till cancel order plus extended, which is what I want on that. ARCA, can they accept extended hours orders? Yes. Okay, good. Looks like OGen is on the ARCA trading brokerage exchange. ATNF. No, it's just not enough volume. All right, now we've got some tickers. CXAI has been up all morning. Has been up on the radar all morning. I don't want to say it's been up. And yeah, it is moving off of the open on high volume. Second, the off of earnings essentially. Let me see if this was after hours. Yes, it was. So this is a earnings based move on CXAI. Oh, excuse me. And it is rather big, yeah. And this is AI news, so this could be a good price to get in CXAI. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some. Oh, I already had OGen on another. Okay, CXAI on another day trader. Okay, active trader. CXAI, the stop's got to be set to at least 220. And that should do it, 220. And we're at 290 here, so that's 70 cents of risk. So for me, there we go. All right. Boom, I'm in. That was instantly. There goes Miggy. Miggy flying some more. But let's see if there's any tickers. These are things that we're already in. We're making money on. We did go over day trading exiting levels. Excellent. Wow, that's so interesting. You keep like a topic list. Randy has the menu of everything we've ever learned this year. It must be quite interesting. Migi now up 41%, and I've got those take profit points set. PSIGA, it's so strange with they must have changed the, okay, let me see. Yeah, something not going on correctly there. All right, how about VEV? Migi is just flying, you guys. VEV, no, this was something that was on the watch list this morning, on the scanner, rather. On earnings, Lifeway Foods, Elway is up 39%. That's not really a penny stock trade. It just doesn't fit the style. AILE, no. We have GCTS. We've seen this many times before. No, but it is fading and dying. AKTS. AKTS and APL. You didn't send me a message about that one morning class you wanted to get that you didn't record. You didn't, did you? Are you recording? Yeah. Um, and there's another reason why I would like you to go ahead and then send that request, but you have to do it in the evening in order for it to actually happen. It's because I did like that session as well and wanted to note it. Oh, anyway, you were away from your trading desk yesterday. Are you with us this morning? ISPO. Ocule. So look at the high growth list. I mean, this is what you see. These are I don't know how many of you pay attention to this, but I even probably don't pay attention to it as much as I should, and it's on my system, not yours. So like, I don't know how much merit, or interest you have in seeing this, but these are like beautiful fucking meters on like how the day's going to go at any moment. And we're seeing about 65% uh, green off of the open from growth opportunity stocks. And that's a reflection of deflation. And at the top of the list, we got Carvana, which I believe I'm already in. Yeah, we're already in Carvana, but Carvana continues to be strong. And the put credit spreads, growth stocks. Yeah, that's the kind of move we're looking for. That move right there is the kind of move that cashes us in on the put credit spreads when we get in, while price is pussyfooting around, and then all of a sudden, bam, we finally get the move. There's a move happening on Carvana. Very nice. You never know when it's going to happen, and that's why put credit spreads are superior for the swing trading, is because they allow you to um, not have to time your trades perfectly. And then a moment like this comes, bloop, and probably Carvana will be moving towards 50% max profit. Carvana. Yes, I just was looking at it a moment ago. It was at 31%. It's now at 45% max profit. So it's obviously, this is exactly when you get used to the put credit spread system, a day like this, boop, in our direction, you could just tell by the chart and the way it looks, that's a moment where it's going to potentially slide right over 50% max profit. And that's our exit point. So fantastic. Looks like I'm up good across all things. And so on that note, let's just double check if there's anything I could cut. Anything doing poorly. Take a look at bad things. Oh, my battery is low. Okay. On my headphones. My headphones are about to go dead. So we probably will be ending the session soon, but it's obvious, guys. And look at Lay's. Lay's is just bleeding out. And the reason I didn't get in is because it was too late. It, but I told you that when these things gap open up and then turn red, see exactly. Look at this chart down here, the bottom one, Lay's. So who was in those penny stocking classes? At least Michael and Randy. I'm pretty sure, but I mean, there you go, right? I mean, is this not one of the patterns? This is trade number what? Is anybody kind of roughly off their head? Remember, if you were to number the trades in order of the sequence in which they occur in the pattern, what is this? This is a what? A number. Wait a minute. I gotta go look this up. I was correct. That's crazy. Oh, I just wanted to double check I had it right between number one and number two. Yeah, number two is shit when you poop. And that's exactly what we have here. This is the number two in the pattern in the penny stocking framework, and the number two pattern signal entry, and it happens to be to defecate. It happens to be also to defecate. So that's an easy way to remember it. But this is the crap out pattern. This is the time in which to get in. So I tried to get in for some shares at 473 right here, and that can show you the precision that you can achieve with your skills over time, because that would have been, anybody would have begged for such a great entry, 473. I didn't get filled because I'm helping you guys, and this is just you know uh, secondary compared to everything that we do. For me to get in there is not a priority. However, That's where I would have got it in, 473. And as you can see now, it's at 373. So it's down $1. And the risk to stop on that would have been, well, 6 in the pre-market, but technically probably 5. So 25 cents a risk. So it's already 4-to-1 risk reward. A very profitable trade. And probably, ultimate target $3. It settles in there. But some people take these moments because it's 90% of the time they do become the eventual top. And so they just go short there, and then they just let that swing trade play out as positive alpha in their portfolio, and they let that trade play out. It usually takes about 2 months to 3 or 4 months for Lays to settle down and go for the ticker to settle down and go back to where it came from, which is down at around $1.80. But sometimes it happens the same day, the next day, right away, and sometimes it even goes farther than where it came from. So yeah, that can be a great way to be positioned on these things. However, we know that there'll be a bounce trades in there. There'll be, you know, potentially, there'll be levels of consolidations and reattempts and all that. But most people will take this as a most experienced penny stocking framework traders will take this exhaustion top as the top and hold it short for some time to come. And they'll certainly go short here, whether or not they take profits or get out at partial uh, profits over the next few days. Pretty cool, right, guys? I mean, there it is in action. Oh, and by the way, what was it? GNLN. Yeah, it's kind of happened in after hours, or sort of. No, it happened kind of during the market hours. That's true. But yesterday, GNLN, I got in at 16, and that's when we alerted. It was going up and up and up, and then all of a sudden, shelf offering. Remember, we had a class about the offerings, shelf offering, and in live time, you got to see what happens. It was an at the money shelf offering of 5 million shares, which is like complete and total dilution because I think they only had 500,000 shares. So do the math there. Like, let's say they had 5 million shares and then they did an offering of 5 million shares. They've doubled their pool, and so it halves the price. What they did is 10x'd their pool. I mean, talk about fucking over the investors. I mean, that's 90% dilution. So they did an offering of 5 million shares, 90% dilution, and it was lucky that it went from 21 to where it opened today, 10, which is only 50% down. But this thing is absolutely dead and worthless at this point. And it would take Hercules to move it because now there's 10 times as many shares in the pool. So it requires 10 times as much money to move the same number of points as far as supply and demand goes. But the real, amazing thing was to watch it in real time to see exactly what we saw, talked about in class with that drop. And by the way, I got out at 16, somewhere where I got in, somewhere around there. So very painless. And then it proceeded to move down to 10 after that. Now we're at 9, and it's going to continue to fade. It can't help it at this point. Yeah, and by the way, they killed themselves. They shot themselves in the foot. The runners of that stock, Genelin, Greenlane, uh, because we were all going to 37. We all thought it was going to be going up much higher. It probably could have popped all-time highs. And if they had just waited and not been so greedy, but if they had been intelligent, but they're not, because these people who run these companies are just evil MBAs who run these penny stock companies up, and then the moment it's up, drop an offering. I mean, these are people who are predatory. You know, they're not like, this is a new era for our company. Uh, they know they're worthless. They know their self-worth, and they know that they need to take all the money when the money's in front of them because they're so worthless. And so they did the shelf offering. But if they had any intelligence beyond having to scam people, if they had anything else they could do with their lives, besides that, had a higher level of intelligence than that, they would have let it run. It was going to open at $40 today. Instead of doing an offering at the money, which turned out to be at about like 20, they could have doubled their money. They could have did it at 40 today. 40. It could have even pushed up to 60. Who knows? And they could have sopped up double or triple the amount of money that they scammed from everyone tomorrow, today. But that's the way it goes. These are the people you're dealing with. They don't know anything about trading necessarily. They just have street smarts. They're scrappers, and they run these companies as shells to rape people of their investors of their money. It is what it is. It's the way it goes, you know. And if you want to make money on all that, you've got to be on your toes for sure, because you got to watch your risk when you get into something. When that happens, you got to get out. Oh, but outside of that, you can go to what was that one we were just looking at? Um, Something's moving up. Oh, it was moving up today. We were just looking at that shit right before this. I don't think it was GCTS. No, damn it. What was that? Well, anyway, anything that's moving up, and just understand the penny stocking framework, and you can make money at all these different points, ups and downs and bounces and retreats and breakdowns, and it's all there for you to profit off of. You don't have to try and find a company like Greenlane and go, oh my God, Eureka, this company's going to make me a fortune. I'm going to invest in it and I'm going to hold for, until I'm rich, and I'm going to sell shares of this company to my kids. And God, no, these are shit companies. Oh my gosh. No, just learn the penny stocking framework, and you'd be in much better shape. What was the other stock I was looking at? Well, anyway, uh, we have other things going on today. All good things. All right, let's move back into the group, everybody. There was one more thing I wanted to look at here. Oh, GCT, no, APLM. That's what it was. What's going on over there? All right, that one's fading. And Carvana is at now 47% max profit. This is what I'm talking about. And it pulled back from the high, but because it's a credit spread, we're actually getting an increase in value, even though the price is going down. It's amazing stuff. That's because the volatility is getting squashed. It's IV crush a little bit, and these big moves like this really are the moments we've been waiting for and pay out. Okay, guys, see you back in the group. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. I'm going to go charge my headphones.